Hey there, and welcome to Secrets of the Ancients. If you're fascinated by the mysteries of lost civilizations and the wonders of archaeology, you're in the right place. Make sure to support us by subscribing, liking, and dropping a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and questions, and it really helps us bring you even more incredible stories from the past. So, let's dive in and keep exploring together. Don't forget to follow Secrets of the Ancients to catch this and all our future videos. 30 curiosities you didn't know about the world. This is your mystery documentary filled with myths, legends, and history. In this video, you'll uncover amazing facts most people have never heard of. For example, did you know the ancient Egyptians had medical recipes over 4,000 years ago? Or that the Incas built thousands of miles of perfectly connected roads without ever inventing the wheel? Civilizations like the Maya could predict eclipses with mathematical accuracy that still amazes astronomers today. And the Vikings reached America 500 years before Columbus. These and many other achievements show that the ancient world was far more advanced than we often imagine. You'll discover fascinating details, from underground refrigerators in ancient Persia to the Incas' messenger systems that rivaled today's communication networks. You'll hear about the echo of the Quetzal bird in Maya temples, how the Olmec developed one of the world's earliest writing systems, and the surprising fact that Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt. Around 3000 BC, an extraordinary civilization thrived on the banks of the mighty Nile. The ancient Egyptians, known for their exceptional skill and deep spiritual connection, began developing medical knowledge that would amaze generations to come. In temple courtyards and family homes, they created remedies blending herbs, minerals, and rituals into a healing system far ahead of its time. Ancient papyrus scrolls reveal they treated not only physical illnesses, but also believed that spirits and gods could affect human health. Physicians called Sinu acted as mediators between the divine and the earthly. They understood the healing power of plants, using ingredients like garlic, onions, and other botanicals to create mixtures meant to ease suffering and restore balance. One of the most fascinating surviving texts is the Ebers Papyrus, dating to around 1500 BC. It contains more than 800 medical formulas, though their anatomical knowledge came mainly from mummification rather than dissection. It gave them a remarkable understanding of organs and their functions, allowing them to craft more effective treatments. Medicine wasn't just science, it was spiritual. Magical amulets and incantations were an essential part of cures. Doctors would recite prayers and perform rituals to call on gods like Imhotep, the deity of medicine and architecture. They saw health as a state of harmony, with illness arising from imbalances not just in the body, but in the cosmos itself. Treatments often included dietary changes, body cleansing, and spiritual purification. Some ancient writings even suggest the Egyptians practiced acupuncture and acupressure, showing advanced knowledge of the body's energy points. This wisdom was passed down for generations, influencing cultures far beyond Egypt. Healing often came with music and dance, creating an atmosphere that lifted both body and spirit. In the dense jungles of Central America, the Maya flourished between 2000 BC and 900 AD. Their majestic cities were also precision-built observatories, where astronomer priests tracked the heavens and recorded their findings in intricate hieroglyphic codices. They could predict solar and lunar eclipses with astonishing accuracy, sometimes within hours of the event. For them, these celestial events carried deep religious meaning and were honored with elaborate rituals. The Maya's famous calendar, linked to their astronomical observations, used a sophisticated base 20 number system that allowed complex calculations. Even after much of their written knowledge was destroyed, stone inscriptions still reveal their mastery of time and the skies. In the towering Andes between the 15th and 16th centuries, the Inca Empire built this immense road network, the Capac Nan, stretching over 40,000 kilometers, and they did it all without using the wheel. These roads linked valleys, mountains, and jungles, connecting diverse peoples across the empire. Along the way, there were rest stops called tambos, where travelers could, find supplies and shelter. The Inca designed their routes to adapt to the land, carving through rock and spanning canyons with suspension bridges. Their couriers, the chasqui, could carry messages and goods across vast distances at remarkable speed. These roads weren't just for travel, they symbolized unity and control, enabling armies to mobilize and goods to flow swiftly. Some even led to sacred sites used for religious pilgrimages. Across the desert plains of Sudan rise the sharp-pointed pyramids of Meroë, built between 600 and 300 BC. These tombs, belonging to the kings and queens of the Kingdom of Kush, have steep angles and walls decorated with hieroglyphs, telling stories of rulers long forgotten. Unlike Egypt's more famous pyramids, Meroe's structures have a distinctive architectural style and remain shrouded in mystery. The Kushites, skilled in metalworking and trade, turned Meroe into a thriving center of commerce. Gold, ivory, and spices flowed through its markets. The pyramids, symbols of the journey to the afterlife, reflected a worldview deeply connected to life beyond death. Yet much of their written language remains undeciphered, leaving many of their beliefs and customs unknown. One famous ruler, Queen Amanirenas, who reigned in the 1st century BC, is remembered as a powerful leader who defended and united her people. Her pyramid still stands, decorated with carvings that speak of her strength and legacy. The pyramids of Meroe rise from the desert, less famous than the pyramids of Giza, yet wrapped in a mystery that makes them impossible to ignore. Every stone and every hieroglyph is a reminder that human history is richer and more diverse than what's written in textbooks. Many theories surround Meroe's influence on other ancient civilizations. Some suggest that the Nubians, with their advanced knowledge of astronomy and architecture, may have inspired the building of Egypt's pyramids. This possible link between two great cultures raises fascinating questions about the exchange of ideas and the development of monumental architecture in the ancient world. But time was relentless. Slowly, the desert sands began to cover the pyramids, and the risk of them being forgotten became all too real. The stories of Meroe, though they have endured for centuries, face the danger of fading into the haze of history. Only faint echoes of their former glory remain in the silence of the desert. Even so, the pyramids still stand, symbols of human resilience through the ages. They have withstood time and erosion, guarding within them the secrets of a civilization that, though forgotten, still lives in the memory of the earth. The search for answers about their history and legacy continues, inviting the bold to dive deeper into the heart of the unknown. Around 3500 BC, in the vast plains of Mesopotamia, a culture emerged that would change the course of history, the Sumerians. Here, between the intertwined waters of the Tigris and Euphrates, they left an indelible mark on time, not only through their remarkable cities, but through an invention that would transform human communication. Cuneiform writing was born from the need to record trade transactions and farming activities. Using a simple reed stylus, Sumerian scribes pressed symbols into clay tablets. Primitive as it may seem, every mark captured a piece of their world, daily life, great events, and everything in between. By 3200 BC, the first written tablets began to appear, offering a glimpse into Sumerian life, from lists of goods to mythic tales. They reveal a complex society where religion, politics, and economics were deeply intertwined. Sumerian gods like Lil and Enki were called upon in every aspect of life, and their stories were recorded and preserved on these clay tablets. As writing developed, so did literature. By 2500 BC, epic tales were being composed, such as the story of Gilgamesh, a king searching for immortality. Considered one of the earliest great works of human storytelling, it reflects not just the existential concerns of the Sumerians, but also their skill at crafting narratives that still resonate today. Towering temples known as ziggurats stood proudly in Sumerian cities, their walls inscribed with prayers and offerings to the gods. Writing wasn't only a tool for communication, it was a form of devotion. By 2000 BC, priests were using it to record rituals and ceremonies, ensuring a lasting connection to the divine. But writing had another side. In a world where power and wealth were prized, it became a tool of control. Laws like the famous Code of Ur-Nammu were etched into tablets, laying the foundations for justice and governance. Writing became a means of reinforcing social order and authority. As the Sumerians expanded, their writing spread and influenced neighboring cultures. By 1900 BC, the Akkadians had adapted the cuneiform script, creating a shared legacy that enriched both civilizations and demonstrated writing's power as a bridge between peoples. Yet the Sumerians faced challenges. Invasions and climate changes slowly eroded their dominance. By 1500 BC, their once thriving cities began to decline. Still, their writing survived as a testament to their greatness, preserving their history and achievements for generations to come. Far to the north in the cold and misty lands of Europe, the year 800 saw a new chapter in exploration. The Vikings, bold warriors and skilled sailors, were preparing for journeys that would reshape history. With their long ships slicing through the northern seas, they set out in search of new lands, driven by the winds and a hunger for wealth and glory. Stories spread through Norse villages about distant lands rich in resources, a place called Vinland, where wild grapes grew and the climate was gentler. Around 900, Leif Erikson, son of Eric the Red, decided to follow these tales. He and his crew sailed west from Greenland, braving the unknown. Weeks later they sighted land, a place of dense forests and flowing rivers. It was fertile, abundant, and seemed to offer everything they had hoped for. But they weren't alone. Indigenous peoples had lived there for thousands of years, and encounters between the two groups brought both friendship and conflict. The Vikings built temporary settlements, exploring rivers and lakes that seemed almost dreamlike. Yet life in Vinland had its challenges. Suspicion grew among the local inhabitants, tensions rose and skirmishes broke out. Harsh conditions, scarce resources, and hostility eventually forced the Vikings to abandon Vinland. By 905 their presence had vanished, leaving only faint traces in the land. For centuries the story of the Vikings in America lived on as legend, told around firesides, woven into sagas. But the mystery remained. Why didn't they stay? Was Vinland a lost paradise or a place of hardship? With few archaeological clues, the answers remain as elusive as shadows in the fog. By the year 1000 the echo of their exploits had faded, but their daring journey across the ocean lived on in the myths and memories of the Norse people. Finally, I just want to thank you all for listening and joining me on this journey through the secrets of the ancients. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe, like, and comment. And hey, don't forget to follow Secrets of the Ancients to catch our future videos. See